Let's continue the chapter 8 of module 4, compound vector processing. So after the basic operations of between two vectors and a scalar like vector gathering and scatter, so all operations we have studied. Also we have studied a vector and vector scalar instructions. From there three types of vector access. So whenever we wanted to fetch a data which is of a type vector, so from a memory, so we used to follow C access, that is concurrent access. S means simultaneous access, or both method. Okay, so that we have studied in the previous discussion. Also we have studied multi-vector and multiprocessor differences between the mainframes and mini supercomputer, some of the case study, and followed by okay, that was the discussion. Let's continue now the compound vector processing. So now what do you mean by compound vector operations? Multiple network chaining means one after another, and also the execution takes place with the help of networking. And if we perform vector operations through a network, it becomes a compound vector operations. We have one program here, so from the how it executes only in a scalar, how it will be converted into vector program. So based on that we will try to analyze how it really works. Okay, so now we have CVF, that means compound vector functions. What do you mean by compound vector functions? These vector operations performed, and these are converted to looping structure, means repeated execution, just like, and we are going to sync or link with the scalar operations. Let's see, it is a very simple, but just imagine how it independently work. See, do it 10 times, do it for 10 times. 1 to n is 10. Okay, so take a value from location x and keep it on, means load it on R1. Similarly load a value from y and load it on to R2. Okay, please remember x value on R1. Okay, please remember x value is on R1 and y value is R2. Let me write here, x value is loaded to resistor 1 and y value is loaded to resistor 2. Don't get confusion. So next this is important, multiplication of R1 with S, where S indicates a magnitude only. That means what? If something is only magnitude, it is called as a scalar. Okay, so then after adding after multiplication of a scalar with earlier vector, that is x, you will get a new vector with a more magnitude. So now we have to perform the addition between R1 and R2, and finally whatever is a result, see, I hope you all remember, add R2 comma R1 means R2 equals R2 plus 1, R2 equals R2 plus R1. So whatever the R1 result, finally you store in the memory which is pointed by y. Okay, so now how the program converts when we write the similar program in terms of vector. See, now it is load. Now we are writing vector load. How to get a vector load? We have to give from where to start till what value to fetch. Okay, base, stride and length. Base, stride and length. If we get these three combination from a memory, we will get something. That data is on vector 1. So what is for vector 2? Base, stride and length. So from this, if we apply this logic on memory, we will get data that we call it as vector 2. So vector 1 is x, vector 2 is y. Okay, now vector 1 should be multiplied with a scalar to get a magnitude, means enhanced vector. Scalar into v1. What is v1 is x. So hence we are performing scalar multiplied with the first vector, that is x. So we'll get a result. That result whichever we are storing in v1. Okay, so that v1 and the v2, what is what? Y. So we will finally store that result in v2, and whatever is in a v2 we will store in a memory location followed by m, that is called as store. So again base, stride and length, so combination of 3 will give us a vector. Okay, so you remember vector store, vector load, vector into scalar, vector addition with vector, vector store. These all are the operations. Let's see mathematical representation here. So what is the operation we are doing for this is, I hope I explained. So one scalar into x plus one more vector, one scalar into x plus one more vector. So always prefer to take first independent vector. So actually x is associated with multiplication of a scalar, so always first preference given for free vector, freely available vector, that is y location. Okay, next take x, which is another location. Whenever we will try to load, that time itself we have to multiply with the scalar, so that we will get a updated value for the vector x. So we will get a product here, scalar into vector, and here we have only vector. So what is the result of scalar into vector? Again definitely it is a vector, so only vector, both should be added, that is step 1 result and step 2 result. And where to store is again in the y position only. So this how many times we have to do? 10 times, because I mentioned here in the first slide. So you can see do 10 times, okay, for I from 1 to n. Okay, see, let's see how this will take place in chained method and complete method. Okay, so see here, I hope diagram should be okay, fine. Hope it is clearly visible now. See the flow. What is the first operation? Load y, because it is a free vector. Okay, so from memory through access pipe get a data and store it on vector register. Remember, it is a not a memory, it is a vector register set. Okay, so first operation is done. How to perform second operation? And one more thing, it is a limited. Why? I will explain. Okay, so next is x location, get the data, store onto vector register temporarily, and immediately multiply with a scalar. You will get a magnitude enhanced vector that we have to store it in v3. Okay, so that finishes stage 2. Stage 2. What is stage 3? Vector addition. So where is first answer result? It is present in v1. See, so that v1 we will have a copy. So after multiplication with the scalar, whatever we will get, that is going to add. See here, and we are adding what? 2 vectors. So what is the definite result? New value vector. So what is the last answer for what is the last step? That's also store. How to store? Finally answer is present in vector 4, that should be stored in a memory. So now the condition is, at a time we are accessing what? Only one time memory. Okay, only one time memory. So hence it is called limited. So now what about complete? Complete means how many memories we want to fetch. All are allowed at a time through different ports. See, this is port 1 fetch, this is port 2 fetch. There is a common memory in which x values as well as y values are stored. Okay, so many y values and so many x values. So where we are going to store x values? Here. Okay, and y values separately stored. Okay, so always remember x should be multiplied. For that, see here, we will take x, we will multiply scalar value to get a scalar enhanced vector. See, let me draw. There is one scalar enhanced vector. Okay, and from the another port what we will get, see this is directly, this is only vector, it is not participated, there is no link between scalar and this second vector which is y, it is free. So here let me write in a bracket y is pure vector. Okay, what about x is multiplied vector with a scalar, so here I will write x, it is also vector because it is a scalar multiplied vector, so both will enter. And what is the operation we will perform is, in pipeline we will perform two vectors addition. So what is the result? Again it will be vector and that will be stored. See, this is chained in the sense what, one connected to another, so these all are different activities. Okay, here it is chained and it is complete because how many fetch we want, those many ports through we will collect a data in the initial step itself. If you wanted 3, we will get one more here like this, port 3, and we used to perform some operation and contribute into the main app operations flow. Okay, so this is called as looping of the vector calculations. Looping of the vector calculations. So what all the type of data we can perform whenever we take some of the vectors as operands, what we can do, see some of examples. Vector 1 is result of vector 2 plus vector 3 into vector 4. See here operation vector 3 into 4 is first priority because it is a multiplication, get the result. So the product of two vectors multiplication, what is the expected answer, that is also vector, so that will be vector into vector, answer is vector plus vector, hence we can expect final answer also as vector. So see now, two memory locations, or you can assume as vectors also, two vectors addition, one vector multiplied with scalar, get the result, for that we have to add another vector. So like that we can perform some functions like sine of first vector, okay, sorry, b of 1 plus c of 1, both are vectors, get a summation, for that you apply sine function, get the result, that should be added with vector 3, which is going to be added with vector 2 of 1, it's a square root. So we can perform numerical functions also, okay, on the vector data. So because these are one dimensional data, okay, so what all the operations we can perform, we can perform arithmetic as well as logical operations. Okay, so this was clear, I think. Let me explain once again. Please remember this program. Operation is what? Okay, so the operation is scalar into x as a vector plus another vector. So here always first try to get free vector loaded, second vector whenever we will fetch, that time itself we have to multiply, so we'll get a result from step 1 and step 2, add both the results whichever we have got in step 1 and step 2. Okay, so let me give in limited access. Limited access means one at a time. So memory 1 read port will collect load y from the memory, since it is allowed to fetch only one at a time because it is limited, so x is loaded second time separately. So x is multiplied with x is multiplied with s, which is a scalar, hence a magnified vector generates, that magnified vector added with the earlier vector which we have fetched and stored in v1. So both are added to get v4, and finally v4 is stored onto memory. Again remember, only one store at a time. If we wanted to store two, again we have to take a separate cycle and execute because it is a limited. See, now it is not limited, complete means all. A common memory through port 1 and port 2 fetch all data at a time. How many you wanted? Those many pipelines. Those many separate vector registers. V1 separate, V2 separate. V1 will get X, V2 will get a Y. Y is free. See the formula. Y is free. V1 is to be multiplied with scalar. See now, v1 is multiplied with the scalar, hence v1 copy we have multiplied with the scalar to get it here. v2 is free, so directly we took it. So multiplied scalar multiplied vector from this side and only vector from this side, both are added to get a new vector. That vector is stored permanently. See, from the memory to the memory there is a direct connection, means direct, not a direct, it is a continuous connection. Here like this there is no broken separate steps execution. So this is called as chained, and it is complete because at a time we are accessing means fetch how many we wanted to perform the calculation. Okay, so now the next one is multi-pipeline networking. So what do you mean by multi-pipeline networking? So between multiple pipelines, how to create a networking? Between multiple pipelines, how to create a networking? See this leaving this, you can expect here. See, this component is same as this component, separated by one functional pipeline. One functional pipeline. Okay. So now register files, it will have both scalar register and vector register, but we use only vector because we are expecting vector calculations or vector operations. See now, some vectors will get mapped here. Okay, so those all are forwarded, and see, some operations are already multiplied with the scalar. I told x into s. See here, x set, here scalar. So what we will get as output? Enhanced vectors. Okay, because they are magnitude with or multiplied with a scalar. So those should be added with what? Y, set of y. See, this is scalar multiplied with x vector, and this is y vector. So what is the operation here? Plus. So what is the operation here? It is star. Okay, so scalar value multiplied with the x and finally added with the y. So here we will get a result. Okay, so this is what results section. So this is done through networking, hence it is called as pipeline networking. So pipeline network is also called as pipe net. Okay, pipeline network is also called as pipe net. Okay, so the use of pipeline network is each pipeline communicates with another pipeline. So what is the advantage? So whether the earlier pipeline has completed or not is controlled or observed by another pipeline, so that it can enhance the speed or decrease the speed of execution. Okay, now the next one, the last part of this chapter, SIMD, computer organization. So not only the pipeline computer or mini mainframes or mini supercomputer, SIMD computer will also perform vector operations. So how it is done? It is done through two models. One is distributed memory model and another one is shared memory model. What is distributed memory model? See, very simple. There will be mass storage, huge program we have wrote, say about 200 lines. In that 180 lines are vector and 20 lines are scalar. Okay, so those all are loaded into host computer, and all 200 lines of program is loaded onto control memory. So control memory will supply one by one instructions to array control unit. So array control unit will decide whether the instruction is scalar or a vector. If it is scalar, it is forwarded towards scalar processor, just like a plus b, a minus b. If it is a vector, like v1 product with v2, so it is vector type. So it is assigned for one particular processing element. So this operation star is allocated for P1. So what is the value of v1 and v2? That is loaded to, see here, a particular local memory for whom this operation is assigned. Say P1 is to execute v1 v2. So P1 accepts work, but to perform the operation it should have value. What is the magnitude of v1, what is magnitude of v2, like that. So that is done directly by this. And remember, the same data is not shared with any of the local memory. Okay. So finally what happens? They will execute and the result is updated in routing network. Okay. Also routing network is controlled by array control unit, because it is controlling part, so it has to control all the activities taking place in the system. So what is distributed here? Distributed means this local, in the name of local memory, okay, this data is distributed among multiple local memories. Okay. So the last one is shared memory model. Okay. See, as I mentioned, the 200 instructions program, in which 180 are vector assumption and 20 are scalar, all are loaded onto host. Okay. So host will forward instructions to control memory as well as array control unit. So that will divides this part as a scalar. If it is a vector, directly given for processing elements. Scalar is different side. Okay, don't worry about that scalar part. So when it is decides that array control unit decides, it is a vector unit or a vector operation, it assigns to processing element. So what it did in the earlier distributed, there was a LM. LM means local memory. So instead of local memory, there is one bunch or a group of shared memory. So you can imagine this shared memory. So host all loads data to this shared memory through data bus. Instruction plus star is here, values 2, 3 are here. So what it will do, P1, it will fetch a data from shared memory via alignment network. It will calculate the answer and again it has to update in the shared memory. That's why we have bidirectional connection. So what happens here, 6 is new value, which is a result of product of 2 and 3. So like that each and every activity will take place. See, these 20 elements or instructions will execute here because those are 20 are scalar. So this part 180 instructions are vectors, they will execute in this part according to our assumption. So where is the data transmitted? Data transmitted from this data bus to the shared memory. Okay. So let me give one small point. This completes chapter 8 of module 4. We left with one chapter in this module 4. Immediately we will start the module 5. Okay. Thank you.